Kevin Kilbane standing by at Anfield. Come in, Kevin.
Hi, Joe. How you keeping?
Oh, look at that. Look at you. Happy out there?
Oh, we got a classic tonight, Joe. We got an absolute belter.
Talk us through it. First, well, let's go up until Roma scored their 2 goals. So, up until Liverpool 5, Roma 0. I mean, it was hard to make sense of what Roma were doing, and Liverpool took full advantage.
Well, first 20 minutes, Joe, Roma settled really well. I thought they were playing some good football. They were probably controlling the game. Strootman and De Rossi in midfield were controlling it for them. They created a couple of chances. I think you probably would have seen the strike from Kolarov that beat Karius that could have put them in front, really.
Yeah.
And it took maybe the injury to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain just put them out of sync a little bit, Liverpool. They couldn't quite get settled in the game. Then Wijnaldum came on and it changed the game for Liverpool. Liverpool all of a sudden then were starting to exploit that high line that Roma were playing. Joe, it was just incredible how they continued to squeeze the game. It was just suicidal defending. It was just kamikaze stuff. It was just crazy to see a side that lacked pace defensively. Fazio, Manolas and Jesus. He was just awful defensively because he kept squeezing. And all Liverpool kept him doing was diagonal runs, whether it was from Mane, whether it was from Salah. Something that we talk about tactically, what Liverpool do when they're moving it across the back line. Firmino wants to come a little bit deeper, and it just allows those two, with the pace he's got, to get in behind. And probably for about a 15-20 minute spell, right at the end of the first half, they just tore Roma apart. And then 5-10 minutes either side of half time, Liverpool were just devastating, and they won the game probably in about a 30-minute period tonight, and Roma were just blown away. Yeah,
actually, I'm glad you mentioned that first 15 minutes because I didn't really get to see that so well in here. But then we had a pre-record. So funny, I caught it on TV3 around when Graham Souness was doing an insert and was saying Liverpool need to wake up here a bit. And from then on, it was like they'd heard Souness, the ghost of Souness coming through from TV3 because they just murdered them. As you said, Roma very high line, and they were simple balls through. And there just didn't seem to be any change in that pattern. So you had Firmino who got through and ripped one right across the goal. You had Mane who had a big chance in 28 minutes. He was in one-on-one. And then Mane, a few moments later, a ball was pulled back to him and he put it over. And actually, it was getting to a point where you thought, if Liverpool don't score soon, they're going to regret this period. And then Mo Salah did his thing.
Yeah, you're spot on. That's exactly what I was thinking, Joe, where they didn't score in that spell. Maybe when you say the 2 chances for Mane. Mane's one when he's gone through. I think that almost woke Liverpool up. It was almost if, here lads, come on, we can actually go and exploit this back line because of the pace that we have. Mane went through. He never really looked settled in actually getting the finish away, but you could see immediately it was a great touch actually in the build-up from Firmino just to take it away from Manolas. And he put him away. He was the wrong side of Fazio, and Fazio couldn't compete with him. Once he gets to, I think that was really the turning point that Liverpool thought, hang on a minute, we can actually exploit this weakness that they've got. And they continued. You mentioned there the through balls, Joe. It was simple balls. Liverpool went quite direct, longer balls going forward, and why not hit those long passes when you're exploiting an opposition's weakness? And Liverpool just did it brilliantly.
Yeah. Don't turn around now, but there's a bunch of Scousers making faces behind you. Don't turn around.
Oh,
Yeah. They're loving the fact. Yay!
They're Irish boys as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, they picked a good night to come over.
Yeah.
So,
no, they did.
Salah then, was put through again. Similar story. Firmino put him through, and he dinked the keeper, and it was a great finish. 2-0 half time. Roma stuck with 5 at the back second half, and then Salah was involved in the Mane goal and the Firmino goal, and then Firmino got another header. And at that stage you're saying this thing is done, it's over. Yeah. I was talking to Graham Hunter live in the air after that Firmino header goal, so I haven't seen how they managed to give away 2. Did they drop off, or did Roma go for broke, or what happened?
Well, yeah, you said, you probably talk about that 4th goal from Salah, how he just ghosted past Jesus.
Yeah.
It was shocking defending. The goal that he scored to get the 5th, yeah, I'm with you. You're thinking that's it, game over. The buzz round Anfield, Joe, it was like, right, just keep going. Klopp was still urging them on. You're thinking this is going to be 6, 7, 8 quite easily. You've got 15, 20 minutes to go. You're 5-0 up. This could quite easily be 7 or 8 here. Not a bother at all. But all of a sudden, and it's something that Liverpool do, particularly Dejan Lovren. He becomes erratic when he tries to win the ball. So all of a sudden, it was just a simple ball, a diagonal ball. If you saw, you might have seen it early on this season, Eden Dzeko's goal against Chelsea, where he peeled away off the shoulder of the right-sided centre-half, on his left foot, great volley against Chelsea. Similar sort of movement, lovely ball, just clipped him behind, brought it down on his chest, and he finished it really well. But all of a sudden then, Lovren just became erratic. It was almost as if, right, I've made a mistake, I need to put it right.
Yeah.
And he started to try and force the issue, he started to try and make mistakes. And you watch him going, look, just calm yourself down, you're fine, you're 5-1 up. Then, James Milner was given, it was a harsh penalty, Joe. I think it actually hit his midriff first and then bounced up onto his arm, so it was a harsh one. Brilliantly taken by Perotti, but it's a different mindset, I feel, leaving Anfield and supporters here tonight, because they've gone from such a high within the space of 10 minutes to thinking, oh, here we go. They know what Roma did to Barcelona in the last round, so that's got to be in the mindset, given what happened as well to Liverpool again this season in the Champions League against Sevilla when they conceded 3 goals. So it is in the mindset, but I still feel, Joe, he took Mo Salah off as well, don't forget. He took Mo Salah off at 5-0, so that's maybe another turning point in looking at. They've got Mo Salah to come back in for the second leg. So, look, you're taking it, wouldn't you? If the Liverpool fan at the start of the game, you're taking a 5-2 win, but it's just how the mindset has changed now at the end of the 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very strange one. As you said, absolutely it would have been taken before kick-off, but at this stage now, it's probably just taken the sheen off the whole thing and will just leave the tie alive. And if Roma get off to a flyer and score 1 or 2 early, then it's big trouble for Liverpool. And Liverpool are as capable of having a period in a game where they concede 2 or 3 goals as they are of scoring 2 or 3 goals. So it's finally balanced. Like, were you impressed with Roma? It's probably your first time seeing them in the flesh. Do they look like a side that can easily beat Liverpool 3-0 away from home? It's hard not to, or at home rather, it's hard not to see Liverpool scoring in Rome.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I think. I think certainly with Salah will come back in, of course. I think Liverpool score, Joe. That's personally what I think. Given what I've seen tonight from the back five, how they played, Roma, I think they have to change it, because they were awful. All 3 of them lacked pace. They played a high line. They squeezed Liverpool. So there's got to be a change of tactics from Eusebio Di Francesco. He has to change his tactics, Joe. He can't play like that against that Liverpool attack the way that they're playing at the moment. So we may see a back four like he changed to towards the end of the game. That's perhaps what he might do. But personally, I think Liverpool score. I think they still go through. It's
very strange when you lay it out in those terms, the Di Francesco approach to against this Liverpool 3, to go with a back 3 of his own who don't have much pace and they play a high line. What the hell do you expect is going to happen?
No, it is. But you know, as well, there was I think it was the Mane chance, that you referenced earlier on.
Yeah.
Look where they are as a back 3. They're actually in Liverpool's half. They've squeezed so high. Brilliant touch, yes, from Firmino, but they think they're going to win it back. But in taking that chance and not winning that first challenge, that's where you leave yourself exposed, and that's where they've got in. And that's got to be the worry, I think, for Di Francesco, because is he going to say to his side, I tell you what, we're going to go and squeeze the life out of it, we're going to be really positive and go and get an early goal, and let's have a good crack at getting into the final, because if you do that, there's always the danger that Liverpool will do to Roma in Rome what they did tonight in as I said, the spell 15 minutes of either side of half time. That's got to be the worry. But in saying that, they scored 2 late on.
Yeah.
The momentum is just not necessarily fully in Liverpool's favour now. It's just swung a little bit back towards Roma towards the end of that game.
Yeah, the psychology here is very, very interesting. And how do you sum up Salah's performance? It must have been quite something to see that first goal in person.
Joe, you say, honestly, it was just, yes, Manolas could have got closer to him from a defensive side if you're looking at it maybe as the negative, but the precision on the finish, we've seen it from him this season so many times. Little shift onto the left foot. He uses Manolas as a shield to shield Alisson, the goalkeeper. He can't see what Salah's going to do, and just the precision to put it in a spot when Alisson has got absolutely no chance, no goalkeeper in the world stopping it. And then, of course, to get his second goal, brilliantly worked second goal, excellent work getting forward, and then the awareness when he's at full tilt, Joe, to recognise that Alisson, the goalkeeper, is coming out to me, just a little dink over him, it's just sensational. And then, the 2 goals then he creates. I mentioned earlier on, Jesus, the defender, was shockingly bad, just allowing Salah to breathe past him. And then they played a high line for the 3rd goal as well that allowed Mane to score. It was just terrible stuff. But as you say, seeing that goal in the flesh, you realise what this guy... Joe, he's on, and we were saying it maybe earlier on, Joe, this lad now, if he continues it, he's on to win the Ballon d'Or. It's been dominated from Ronaldo and Messi over the last while. And you and I have kind of joked about it. We kept on saying, this guy's a bit like Messi. What's happening here?
Yeah.
But, Joe, it's incredible the level of consistency he's showing.
And just a last quick one, you're saying Wijnaldum changed the game. That was what you thought was pivotal?
Well, it wasn't. But what happened was Oxlade-Chamberlain went off injured. It looked a bad injury actually with him going off.
Yeah.
And it just shook Liverpool for 5 minutes. They weren't really able to get into it. Wijnaldum himself wasn't able to get into the game. But once Wijnaldum settled, it just settled everybody else down, and that's when the chances started to come. Liverpool, as maybe you referenced Graham Souness there, just referenced first 20 minutes, they weren't in the game. Do you know what, Joe? Got to give them a bit of credit for changing the mindset, because there must have been nervousness around the Liverpool dressing room. The expectation that was here at Anfield tonight, the atmosphere that was generated both before the game and during it. So there must have been that little bit of nervousness, but once he settled, it was clinical and it was devastating.
Yeah, and the scary thing for Roma now is that those Liverpool players know they can toast that Roma defence for pace. And once they know that, and once you know that, that changes all things.
Totally. That's exactly the case now, isn't it? That, you've given Mo Salah a rest for the last 15 minutes that's allowed Roma back into the game, but he actually got a bit of a round of applause. He got a ripple of applause from some of the Roma fans in going off there as well. But you're spot on. Mane was devastating. I thought Firmino was excellent as well tonight. Hold up plays, pace, everything. That front three, I'm convinced that they actually will score out there in Rome, and I think they could put the tie to bed quite early.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Liverpool looking at a Champions League final suddenly. It's all very interesting. You're back in here tomorrow. We've got Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. More importantly, we've got Kenny Cunningham in here tomorrow for the full show. Anything could happen.
What a night we've got in store tomorrow night. Can't wait.
Thanks a million for calling in. Safe home. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, Kev.
Cheers, Joe. All the best.